Similarly, 17 days after the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, the family members of the abducted victims are pleading for government and general public interventions in securing the safe release of their family members. They are also pleading with the kidnappers to provide room for dialogue to negotiate the release of their loved ones. Benedict Tuko has more on this story.
It was a moment of sorrow as the families of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack at the National Human Rights Commission on Thursday in Abuja demanded the safe release of their loved ones. Since the incident, which occurred on 28th of March 2022, 168 people are still missing. 17 days after the abduction, these family members are demanding the government and general public's intervention.
This is why we're here on a very, very sad note, because family members have been abducted, scores have been injured, some have died. Every attempt to reach out to the kidnappers for further discussion and negotiation has proven abortive because the terrorists made it clear and explicit that they only want to talk to the government. We are confused, and most of the victims are in dire need of medical attention. For instance, there is one of the victims who has a gunshot wound and needs immediate medical attention, but there is no access to give him that. We have other people that are sick, that require daily medication. They don't have access. There's a toddler who is 2 years old, for God's sake. We can only imagine what they're going through. We have an aged woman of 85 years. She is there helplessly, just like the others. We don't have any clue on what to do. Any additional loss of life results to unbearable sorrow to a family, but not to the government. And obviously, the women among them, we all know, have their cycles. How will they manage in such a situation? But all we can do is to plead to the government, plead to the world, plead to even the terrorists and good people of the world to come to our aid in securing the release of our family members.
Since the abduction, the family members said they were contacted by the kidnappers just once. They pleaded with the kidnappers to provide room for dialogue to negotiate the release of their loved ones.
We would like to bring this to the world stage, that we were only contacted by the kidnappers once since the incident, and that was just to show proof of life, which unfortunately does not guarantee the health of the victims. No government agency reached out to us, even though we had made attempts to see the right authorities, but nothing came through. Everything we tried proved abortive. For crying out loud, this is human beings that we're talking about. But the response is rather discouraging and devastating. We are begging, we are pleading to the kidnappers to provide room for dialogue so we can negotiate the release of our loved ones. We beg you to include them in your prayers and thoughts. It could have been any one of us.
The representative from the National Human Rights Commission said the commission is working with different agencies to see the release of the abductees.
The commission is actually monitoring the events closely in the media and also making contacts with the relevant authority. Now that you are here to present your plea, The Commission is also a government agency. We will definitely collect the plea and also ensure that it is transmitted to the relevant authority. And we work closely with the relevant authority to ensure that the right thing is done. So we actually welcome you, and we will sincerely take up this matter seriously, and we ensure that we follow it up adequately.
On the 28th of March 2022, an Abuja-Kaduna train was attacked in Katari, Kaduna State, Nigeria. According to the Nigerian Railway Corporation, 168 people are still missing.